Hi, welcome to the Hucolo Saturday webinar with Jim Charles. Today is Saturday, February 16th, and
Yes? Oh, is it time for me to do the announcements?
Yes.
Yes.
And for some reason, we are having technical difficulties.
That is okay, in God's good time. Can you hear me?
Yep. I can.
Okay. Oh, good. Okay. I have a feeling Ian couldn't hear me. But the announcements right now are we have an August workshop coming up on the 8th through the 11th. Is it?
August 8th through the 11th.
And it's going to be really good. We're having it at the Finger Lakes Motel. It has a swimming pool. It has a bar. It has a pool table. But more than that, it's going to have all of us who go, and it'll be a lot of fun. So we're figuring out the itinerary now. Max is going to come, and I know that he's going to be teaching the history of our evolution from as it looks from outer space and from inner space. So that should be an interesting topic as well. There's maybe some other new topics as well. One that has come to mind, if Tekkrr is so gracious, I'm going to teach Galactic Sign Language, because that is something that will be necessary for first contact. Because not all species speak, because some are telepathic, and in order for everyone to communicate, sign language is necessary. And so everyone in the galaxy learns this sign language, because not everybody's telepathic, and there are some that are only telepathic. So in order to communicate properly, they have to learn this sign language. So I thought it would be interesting if Tekkrr would let us in on some of that sign language from the galaxy. I think that would be a really nice class. So anyway, sign up. It's $575, and it's 4 nights and
4 nights,
5 days.
Yep.
So it'll be fun. So any questions, let us know. Contact Angie.
It is on the Hucolo site under workshop.
Very good. Any other announcements? Ian, did you want to tell them about the channeling class?
I sure will. Every Friday we have a channeling class that's for channelers and would-be channelers alike, to where we can provide a safe space. It's you can join it on Facebook. It's under Hucolo Channeling Practice Class. We get together via Zoom. It's a safe place for everyone to get together and channel and learn from each other with experienced channelers. And it's free to join. So we look forward to seeing you there on Friday afternoons at 4:30 on Eastern.
Excellent. And also, don't forget the book.
Yes, we have the book,
yeah.
From the Galaxy with Love, a Lightworkers textbook by Max Rempel and Jim Charles, who channeled all of the material in it. It's a great book. You can find it on Amazon, also on audible.com, and it's also available on the e-readers through Amazon as well. If you've read the book and you like it, please leave us a favorable feedback online for it.
Yes, they added it also to Kindle, so it's there too. So very cool.
Okay, and next for blessings, I know that Angie and David wanted to do opening blessings. Do we have any others?
Yes, I would like to do a blessing as well. This is Lucia.
That was Lucia. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, also, could I add someone as a request?
Sure.
I would like to have some information about King Arthur, Avalon, and the Knights of the Round Table. I'm not too sure who to ask.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm not sure either, but the most appropriate people come for subjects. So
Perfect. Thank you.
And if anyone in the room has a question, as usual, just go ahead and post that you have a question in the chat, and I'll go ahead and call on you when it's your turn. So Angie, would you like to start off with the blessings?
Sure.
okay.
Guan iti ano kwa iato o ni matuku ia ako mo ni atuku a iskukua ano matu I a omoia a ka a totu a kati a wani okwa iskunonua ia manua ya kwa a ia maua shono wa manu.
These are very dangerous in times, but they are also very loving times in some ways. The ascension moves forward and we move forward with it. So let's bring our quality of life and love to the world that has none, and make it a good life in enlightenment and encouragement and hope for those of us who know it, can share it in a way that can be most beautiful.
Beautiful. And David.
Drokua na shahati na sauke bajondo naria eshondo bishone anasaruke anajagunda ewa saha eshanda nau feo sahanda naria duhundu narishanda eanda shau evandane shogundu nalia ashunde Brakundu nalia shahati, eshundu nali, asundu era analia. Bashunda.
It is sad that we see that some of your people feel nothing. They have grown up in a society that sears their emotions away from them and makes them unwanted and unkind and unloving at times. We are here to awaken these emotions in others. We are here to awaken each other and to love one another. Let it be that these people who have been deprived of emotion suddenly find that they are full of it and will start to live a life of joy and understanding.
Okay, Lucia, I should say.
Lucia.
Lucia, sorry about that.
That's fine. Asuna mona kashosoki sa. Ashoni ni kasokila kashosala miniki. Asuni mini kashosala kusi akusi mena kashosala mi. Asala shoso kakusi akatokila minaka. Asosi mini kashosika akashosolini anoni mini kashasa. Namaste.
The light shines brightly. How is it that not everyone can see it? For they are looking in the wrong direction. They are looking for the wrong things and looking to see things that are not there. Let them turn around to face the light so that they may know that God is watching and God is helpful. Let them know that He is there so that they can finally proceed and be prosperous.
Okay, that's all we have for the blessings, unless anyone else wants to jump in real quick. Okay, so
Okay.
Jim, I guess the stage is now yours.
Okay.
Do you have the...
I will do a slight meditation, and then whoever wants to come first will come first. And I know that it feels like there's quite a few waiting there, so it's good. But I wanted to thank you, Ian, for taking over today. I appreciate it. So
You're very welcome. I apologize for the technical difficulties, but we got through it.
No problem. I'm just glad we're here and we're doing it now. So very good. Greetings, I am Elijah.
Good afternoon, Elijah.
Briefly. Yes, did someone say something? Oh,
I just said good afternoon, Elijah.
Ah, thank you. Today I want to speak briefly about spiritual energy. I know that many of you have been experiencing some low energy times and feeling very tired and weak. Some of you have even been feeling a depression. There is reasons for this. The earth energies have been strong. The earth energies have been beating at many's because they are not used to this kind of energy, and they are not used to having to deal with all the heaviness that is coming from the sun, from the center of the galaxy, and from Mother Gaia. But keep hope. You know it is only temporary, and that God will bring you forth. God is here to make sure that everyone will prosper and everyone can do their mission the way that it is intended to be done. And so do not worry. There will be days like this, but they will only be temporary times of low self-image and esteem, and then they will rise back up to their normal status again. But remember this. As you are going through these times, do not do it alone. Call on someone. Call on someone to help you through it. Call on someone to pray for you or send energy to you. Call on each other to help you through these times of low spirits. It is not that there is anything really wrong, but it is that you just need that energy and that uplifting at that particular time. If you find yourself in a spiritual slump or an energy slump, please call on one another. Call on the Spirit of God. Call on the angels. Call on whoever is closest to you to help you be lifted back up into a place where you can continue to move forward in a positive way. I know that even Jim has experienced these things. Some of you have known that also. But these are times when others have been very helpful and have helped him come back to the normal energy that once was his. So continue to pray for one another. Continue to lift one another up. Continue to hold each other in prayer and in great spiritual health. Send Reiki, send life, send love. Send whatever energies that you have within yourself to those that you love. For it is a beautiful thing, and this is the time when everyone must rise, and you must all be an example in some way. Much love to you all. And there were others to come. Greetings, this is Tekkrr. Greetings, everyone. I've come with a short message or an update on the Earth energies and the Earth, how the Earth is doing right at this time. It is actually a good time for me to come to you, for the Earth is actually doing a little better at this moment. You may be experiencing a lot of what Elijah was speaking about, with the Earth energies being very tough on some people, but there are others that are getting used to it, and others that are taking this energy and turning it into positivity and light. So this is a very good time. Things are starting to change. You've been with this energy for a while now, and so it is starting to transition in your system. So that is why some are now, because it gets a little darker before the dawn. but it is coming through. It is starting to transition, and many of you are starting to feel better. Is there any questions about this?
Yes, we have a question from Shir.
Yes.
Greetings, Tekkrr. How are you?
I am very well. Is there a bell ringing?
No, we just needed to mute someone.
Ah,
Can you hear me?
yes, I can hear you now.
Okay, well, first of all, hi. We've missed you. We love you.
Thank you.
I want to ask you, first of all, about the energies, what Elijah spoke about. It's something that I really feel. And if someone can send me something, because I have tons of midterms and I'm getting really exhausted by them, so that will be great. The second question is about government meetings. It's been a while since we asked about it. Is there any updates? Is there anything about that front?
I've done several personal updates with people who have asked in their private sessions, but I do want to give you an update. The meetings lasted for 10 days, so it was a long meeting this time, and many of you were there. Not every single day, but some of you were there as many as 4 or 5 days. The earth energies in that particular meeting were strong, and there was a lot of opposition going on. It seems like right now, although there was many positive things, such as the fact that many scientists, we have discovered that about 67% of the scientists of this earth are now understanding that aliens do exist and are positive enforcements on human life. They're starting to realize that the megalithic sites in the past could not have been made by humans, and are definitely showing clues that they are not made by humans. So they're starting to agree that this is made by aliens, and they're starting to agree that aliens seem to be positive and helpful to the evolution of mankind. Now, having said that, that brings us to first contact, because with this understanding of the scientists now becoming greater and greater involved with alien understanding, it also brings first contact closer instead of farther away. We do not know exactly how much closer, but definitely if this continues, it's a very positive trend. Now, also, the weathers of the earth continue to be bad and will not change. I forget the word for it. The solar minimum, grand solar minimum, thank you, is in full effect, and it does affect the weather in a very negative way. Also, it affects tectonic plates and volcanoes. They have calmed down just a little within the last week, I believe, but we do expect them to rev back up again. So we're not looking for them to die down anytime soon, but we're happy to see that there is a little lull in the action there. So look out for the weather to be still strong. Look out for the tectonic plates and the volcanoes to still continue. Also, the axis is stabilized, but now we have to work on the wobble of the earth. The wobble of the earth is not as bad as it once was, but it's still there, and we need to stop it. It does affect the weather and the jet stream quite intensely. You will notice that some days it is very cold, and then 3 days later it'll be very warm. This is from the wobble. This is from it affects the jet stream in such a way that it's not normal. So also going back to the talks with the governments, is we see something very very difficult here, and that is one moment. That it would appear at this time that governments are pulling themselves apart from the inside. The United States, Britain, and the European area are all pulling themselves apart in many ways. China is doing the same. It's internal conflicts that are causing a great deal of the trouble. Now, I know that you look into the past and you see great world wars and things of this nature, but they are actually less frightening than having major powers of the world pull themselves apart and polarize themselves for possible civil wars or possible domestic violence within the borders. So we are very helpful, trying to be very helpful and bringing more positive energy to these thought processes. So also within many other countries, it is beginning that they are pulling each other apart in a different way than they have ever done before. This is a very different scenario than you've ever seen on this planet before, because they are so internalized, and they're in such great population parameters that it is difficult not to see it all over your planet.
Okay. The next question we have comes from Naomi.
Very well.
Hello, Tekkrr. This is Saphira.
Yes.
Can you hear me? Oh, okay.
Yeah. Greetings.
Greetings. I have one question about energies and one about first contact.
Very well.
Thank you. First, about the new energies. I thought I received an intuitive message that one reason for the exhaustion and the other symptoms is because we, as a consciousness, so to speak, collective, we are resisting the changes coming with this new energy and the new dimension. For example, it would mean that we need to change our lifestyle to represent radical love, radical forgiveness, radical service. And the way that we live our lives usually is very isolated, generally speaking, as individuals, and we would require a big change in lifestyle and thinking. So would you say that is also one reason why there is so much symptoms like exhaustion and depression?
Well, that is a small part of it. Most of the people on your world are not feeling that kind of struggle because they have not turned themselves over to being light workers or light beings. They are still in the regular mode of the common karma of the world, which is sort of gray and sort of unlikely to straighten out anytime soon. But those of you that are light workers and enlightened will be knocked down by that, yes. And with the radical changes that you are going through, that can cause you to be exhausted, and that can cause some people to be very tired and even cause depression. But what is the major cause is that Mother Earth is spewing out new energies and new different powers onto the earth that haven't been seen in thousands of years. They've been suppressed, or they've been taken and put away, like such as magic and G47 energy and other energies that are in the earth that have never been really experienced by this population. And so there is that newness of energy that can also cause these kinds of depressions and energy fluxes, because you have to get ready for them and you have to get used to them, because they are not the norm. But you do have a point that those people that are high in the light worker realms are being pulled down by a lot of negativity around them, but they are very willing to accept the positivity and the changes that are coming. It is the rest of the world that is not willing to do much of these changes. They are still living in the normal gray karma of your realm. Does that make sense to you?
Yes, thank you for clarifying that, Tekkrr. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And thank you so much. So my question about first contact, I wanted to know again the conditions that we need on this earth for it. For example, okay, the governments have to agree. That's one level. Is there enough consciousness on the earth for it? And is there a necessity still for economic breakdown before it happens? And is first contact different from the event?
Yes, let me explain why we have pushed first contact up. There's many reasons, but the one with the scientists is a very important one, because scientists do affect the politicians. You see, if you have enough science, you have politicians working with scientists, you have politicians working with industrial people, you have scientists working with many different kinds of other people, and politicians are working with scientists because they want to find and discover new things, of course, that will help with health and these things. And as they discover that these scientists are feeling this way about aliens, politicians also know that aliens exist and they are positive. So they are feeling that they might be feeling a little safer about accepting aliens and what they have to offer in the long run. Now, that being said, yes, the populace there's many in the population that do believe in aliens and do believe that they're good and safe, but there's still many in the population that are frightened of aliens, feel that they are demons, they are taught that they are negative. You have your movie sources, science fiction, which demonize aliens as well. So it can be that this has been inbred and set in their brain that aliens are bad, and it'll be hard to break that. But the thing is, now there are those that are starting to understand, even now, that these ancient cultures were filled with alien artifacts and alien information. So this is something that they will continue to learn more and more about, and that will bring the consciousness up. Plus, there are many sightings, there are many things happening, many people coming out in the in NASA and the astronauts and things of that nature that were on your planet, talking about the things that they had seen when they were in space, and they did see flying objects and things they could not explain. So that is something that is also coming more to the forefront.
Okay, and thank you. So is economic breakdown still necessary before, and is it going to happen like in the movie Arrival, where a ship will arrive in different parts of the world simultaneously? Is one ship going to land in Washington? How is that foreseen?
Well, the economic breakdown, first of all, is something that's just going to happen. Your world has burdened itself with debt so badly that it has to happen. it's inevitable. There's nothing we can do to stop it. There is nothing you can do to stop it. But it will happen eventually. But for first contact, there are many different ways that first contact has been perceived, and also perceived by those out here. It's been perceived many different ways by your people. But yes, it should be a it should be more than one ship, and it should be in more than one location. But it should also be a very friendly message. And so we are going to use humans, and we are going to use Yahyel probably for the first contact for this planet. That has been what has been foreseen for quite a long time. There are many other species that want to come first because they feel that it is overdue for your people, but they are also warned that they could be shot down at this point. So they are not ready to take that chance yet.
Yes, thank you. And so do all the major countries in the world in the government meetings with all of you have to say yes at the same time for this to happen? What percentage?
No, but there has to be a majority of political worlds, a majority of political yes before we can come. And that will depend on the very large countries as well. The United States, Russia, China, Japan, India, England, France, Australia, these places must say yes.
Okay, thank you. And the event, many people talk about the event, so which will be a big solar flare. And I recently read, not a flare like some kind of a solar event, huge one. I don't know exactly how to describe it technically. But I also heard that all of the aluminum spraying in the chemtrails and things, that our bodies will be filled with metals and aluminum, so that when this radiation comes from the sun in a kind of like an explosion, our bodies will combust. It's like a way to decrease the population. That's one thing. But is that the event, the solar flare, is that different from?
I don't see that, actually. That has been predicted. There are many different kinds of events that could possibly happen. That's really science fiction there with there's not that much metal in the human body to cause them to combust because of a solar flare, but unless that happens in the next like 100 years from now, where you may have consumed or brought in much more of that kind of metallurgic energy, but I do not see that happening at this point. I see something more Earth-oriented, more of a very large earthquake, a large catastrophe, a disease, perhaps. These things would be something that you should be looking out for.
Okay. And I've also heard that, well, the timeline for the first contact, I've heard 2025, 2035.
There is
you said it's been
that time. There's no time. Okay. We have to go by what the governments say. And so how can we predict?
I understand that, but so there's no even kind of estimated time, 10 years, 20 years.
But what good are they? They've changed 30 times in the last 10 years.
I know, when we began with Human Colony back in 2014, we were told maybe 2020, we were given.
It's about 2025 to 2030.
Right, yes. Okay, thank you so much, Tekkrr. I love you. Talk to you soon.
You are welcome.
Okay, next for the questions, we have Christine.
Greetings, Tekkrr.
Greetings.
I was wondering, Jim had mentioned about maybe learning galactic sign language.
Yeah.
I was wondering, just like the mudra is by the shape of the hand or something like that, doing energy, are the sign languages, do they carry energy also?
Well, they're actually just protocols and information for people to communicate out here. And there's many, there's a couple different sign languages. There's this galactic sign language. There's other galactic sign languages from other different galaxies. But you have to remember, it's going to be a sign language that can be used by all. So some species only have 3 fingers. So you have to have a sign language that fits with them. And it has to be something with movements that are very specific so that people can read and know exactly what's being said. So we are, I learned about just today that they wanted to learn about these galactic sign languages, and it would be sort of difficult to train that, but it could be maybe the best 25 words or whatever that is to learn. That could be a possibility, but teaching the whole language would be, I could not possibly do that at a workshop, but maybe 20 or 25 symbols or hand gestures, maybe that could work. And they would be ones that would be like welcome and these kinds of things that would be protocols for when first contact comes. So yes, and you're right. There are different shapes of hands, and there's even claws. So you have to make it so that these species can all understand one another. And so they have to be rather basic hand formations, because there are some species that cannot have complicated hand motions. However, they can move in all different directions, but they cannot put their hands in all kinds of forms. So this would be an interesting class.
Would it be possible for before each webinar that maybe we're shown one, maybe a welcome, or so that we can sort of like practice?
Welcome is this. You bring your hand down. Your hand is cupped like this. See how the hand is? But it's brought down in front of you. Welcome.
Welcome.
That would be the first one, yes.
Okay.
Or it can also mean greetings. It can also mean hello. Many words that are of a protocol for a greeting, it would be the same.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, next with the question we have David Trento.
Greetings.
Hello.
Greetings.
Hi, this is David Jeremiah. How are you? Tekkrr, my question is with the energies. I didn't know that it was the energies, but now that you've brought it to my attention, I've been feeling sensations in the body that are uncomfortable, like a buzz sensation in the head, or like a numbness, maybe similar if somebody took a pain pill or something, and it was very uncomfortable for the past couple of days. Just a really strange sensations. Is this related to the energy, possibly?
It is. Many people will feel it differently. Some will feel a great drain or a tiredness. Some will feel the buzzing. Some will feel all kinds of different sensations, because it affects each and every person differently.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, I felt also tired, and then all of a sudden I'll have a mango or something, and then my energy level would be back again, and I go back out to work, and work the rest of the day?
Yes. Have others pray for you when this happens or send you energy. Then that will help. Also, the proper foods will help as well to pull you out of some of these low points.
Yeah, it's been about a week just up and down with really heavy in the mornings, just feeling super extra tired, more than normal, feeling really weird.
I'm sure that others have felt that as well.
And does the moon have anything to do? Somebody mentioned the gravitational pull of the stage of the moon phase.
The gravitational pull of the moon does affect water in your system. And so therefore, the water in your system will be affected by moon stages. But mostly these are positive movements with the moon. They can bring about negativity as well. But depending on your frame of mind when the moon is rising and becoming more full, it depends. It can actually increase your negativity or increase your positivity. But I would hope that when the phases of the moon come, you are feeling in a good frame so that they can actually boost your feelings.
Do things like sending energy, healing energy to yourself if you're a healer, or receiving energy?
Yeah, you can do that, of course.
Okay, and what other things would we do to feel better?
Well, eat properly, get enough rest, you know, I really don't know, because the earth energies affect everyone differently, and everyone has a different cure for it. Some people will meditate, some people will pray, some people will eat well, some people will lay down all day. But there are different remedies for it. Find the remedy that works for you.
Okay, try everything. Awesome. Yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Soon.
Next, we have a question by Lucia.
Lucia. Or is it Lucia?
It is Lucia. Hello, Tekkrr, but you know me as Mimi.
Yes.
Hello, I have many questions about galactic energy healing.
Yes.
I've had some experiences lately that have been really out of this world, I would say. I've shared some of these experiences with another member here that you might know who I'm talking about. I'm thinking about her now at the moment. But
very well.
I'm also in training as a sacred sound healer and bringing all together what I know about the galactic energy healing and also white magic. And, you know, I've learned so much from you that is different from what other people are thinking about energy and chakras, and using your intuition versus your mind. But then I hear in my own head, body, mind, and soul. And so those three have to work together. Would you agree?
Of course.
And now you talked about how delicate the chakras are.
Yeah.
And I've experienced some sound healing last Sunday, and you know, we were working, many of us together, and I was wondering, I felt I needed to shield myself, and I used a rock because I felt these people around me do not know what I know or what I've been taught by you, because it is leading edge. And can you hurt someone with the sound healing if you don't know what you're doing?
Usually you can. It's not that bad. It depends on how strong they're sending the healing. It can disrupt the chakras a little bit, but sound usually will put them in a good place. But if it's too strong, it can take them out of balance.
I see. And we were using tuning forks, and I have this feeling about tuning forks that they are extremely effective. And if you do not use them properly, you can really hurt someone. Yes. And there was no, it was all about using one's intuition. And I have much respect for that. But I'm just wondering, I brought up this idea of reflexology, and I was kind of put in my place, and I just stopped talking then. But what do you think about tuning forks in general?
The thing is, it depends on what they are tuned to, what vibration they are emitting. Some vibrations of tuning forks are rather harsh, and other ones are rather mellow and calming. You must find the tuning forks that have the more mellow and calming effect on people, because there are some that just are make your nerves come on edge, and there are other ones that are lower tones. I would say the lower tones are probably more healthy and more efficient.
Okay.
What they actually do is bring everything into the same vibration around them. Everything that they come into contact with is now at that vibration of the tuning fork. If you do it long enough, and that is the same that the Om would do. That is the same that a chant would do. It is bringing everybody into the same vibration so that you can connect better, you can heal better, and do much better work. So be careful which ones you use. The higher pitch ones can be disruptive.
Very well. Now, I've experienced something truly miraculous by using the galactic energy healing and white magic. And I used my intuition. The healing had been going on for quite like several sessions. It was the last one. And the idea of using the white magic it came out of nowhere, really. I don't think that it was actually me doing it. I felt I was the channel, and I just let it come through and pour out of me. And what I did is I envisioned the divine galactic energy coming through my crown to my heart. And then the idea came to ask the white magic to come through the earth, through my legs, and both those energies met at the heart. And then I don't know, I'm saying I kind of got out of the way, and I observed this energy melt together, and it shot out like, my goodness, it was so powerful, like golden energy. And then the cancer that was in that person, it almost like just came out of her as a geyser of blackness, I would say. And and I want to know more about this. Could you explain exactly what happened?
Well, I wasn't there to know exactly what happened, but it sounds like that
Vicky, stop.
Magic that you were talking about, you have it in your system, and you're like everyone else that has white magic. They can use it, but it comes sort of naturally. You're just naturally using it. You're not really summoning it too much. It's sort of coming on its own. Isn't that correct?
Yes, and I think that I don't really, how can I say, I never had this idea before. It came as divinely guided.
Yes.
At that very moment. Yeah.
And so with that, those of you that are learning white magic and have some in your system, it actually works when it needs to work. It comes through sometimes, and you're not even thinking about it working, but it is working. And when it is used with other modalities, such as the galactic energy healing, it can be very strong. Galactic energy healing is strong on its own, and so is white magic strong on its own. So you have these two energies meeting, and they do work together. So that is something that you can actually use together, and it works very well. So
now,
what happens is these energies came together, they went into the person, and they removed the cancer. You saw it leave.
Yes.
And this is very unusual, but you know that it had left.
Yes.
It was absolutely obvious, wasn't it?
Oh, well, I've had some confirmations by archangels as well to make sure, because because it was just something very unique. I've never experienced anything like that. But the person did move on. Like she did pass, but she was cancer free, and her her son, who's a naturopath, had made all these tests, and so scientifically, he said to his mother, "You have no cancer in your system," without knowing what had happened with, me and this other member of Hucolo.
Yes.
Who works with angels as well, and so she's also a powerful healer, and so I think together there was a momentum that had
There was
been.
a lot of confirmation. She passed.
Yeah.
She went into the light because she felt it was time to do so, even though the cancer was gone.
Yes.
And it was scientifically proven. But she
yes.
wanted to leave. She did not want to stay.
I understand that. Now, the reason why I'm bringing this up is that this was a unique experience, and I have been told that I will experience this again. And I'm seeing even here, Michelle Euro is she's asking questions about healing and best practices to use. And I mean, that energy, the white magic, because many of us here have taken the workshop on white magic, and it will be you'll be teaching it, I think. Or I don't know who will be teaching it in this August, but I'm just wondering, how can we best use this energy? Now, I've seen this for cancer. Michelle is talking here about cartilage and, pain, I suppose. And can we affect the human body in other ways? Because cancer is,
of course.
Wow, that's kind of...
You can get rid of cancer. You can also affect the body in other ways. You can, but it's up to your intention. It's up to how it is used, and it's up to actually the patient as well to accept that healing. Even though she did move on, she accepted the healing and had the cancer removed from her system. So there are many things that we will talk about in the future that that made this a powerful healing, and what will make other healings just as powerful.
Yes. Well, thank you. That was mainly my questions about just using those two. Is there anything else you could add about the white magic and the galactic energy healing together, and then using as well? I mean, so many modalities, the sound as well.
You can use modalities together. I know they frown upon that on the Earth. In the Earth realm, they say, "Oh, you shouldn't use one modality with another. They will cancel each other out, or they don't work well together, or there are too many different energies, or whatever it may be." But there are some modalities that work very well together, and you can use them. The galactic energy healing can work well with some 𝗖𝗢𝗡𝗧𝗡𝗡𝗧 symbols, and also with white magic. And so you can use them together, and your intention is what is most important, is that your intention is positive and set up for healing. And actually, the greater you can imagine them working together, the greater they work together. So use your imagination and bring them together, because they are energies just like energies in the universe. Do all the energies in the universe come together as one? Of course they do. In God. God is all the energies of the universe put together, and he works just fine. So do not worry about mixing your energies. Don't bring any negative energies in there, but bring in as many positive ones as you wish.
Very well. David earlier was talking about just the collectivity of, maybe some of us who are connected to Hucolo, who are experiencing the lows and the highs of the galactic energies, like, So,
yeah.
And I must say, sometimes I observe myself having the lows, going, what is going on? Because nothing happened except I'm not feeling, quite myself. And I'm wondering, would it be efficient to use, for all of us who have galactic energy healing within us, or that the training and intentions, and all of us here are working for a common purpose, would it be useful to send energy as a collective to Hucolo, and of course to loved ones? And we do this for the earth and whatnot, but sometimes it's good to focus, isn't it?
Absolutely. I would focus on the world. There are many places in the world that need healing. If you could get a group together to send to the United States, the government, to the Middle East, to Europe and England, to China, to the places that are failing in their economies, this is a wonderful thing to do. Yes, this energy combined can make a difference.
Yes. And so because some of us here are on the leading edge, and so we know maybe we know how to the effectiveness of, and where am I going with this? I'm just thinking, just let's say as a collective, would it be useful, let's say, to have a Facebook page where we could write down, everything that needs to be prayed on.
Well, that is up to you. Yes.
Mm-hmm. No, I'm just actually
like be up to your people. Yes.
Okay, this idea just came as I'm talking to you. So, okay, very well. Thank you, Tekkrr, for everything. I really appreciate it.
Our next question comes from Michelle.
Greetings.
Hi, Tekkrr. Hi, Tekkrr. How are you?
I'm well. And yourself?
Good. I'm fine, thank you. I have a question about, I wrap my gold light around the planet, and then I state my intention, for peace on Earth or whatever it might be. But after I do that, I see these low flying clouds pass by my house. Are they of a malevolent nature, or who are they?
I do not know who they are, but if you're sending your gold light around the earth, that is a very positive thing. They cannot really stop that. So that is, even if they are malevolent or whatever, they are not able to stop that. So just ignore them.
Okay. And as well, we can sign up through Hucolo for First Contact if we want to be a part of that. Am I going to be a part of that? And do I attend?
There will be many that will be a part of that. You will. It depends on what your knowledge is at that time, your proximity to the First Contact places, and what it is that they need you to do. They will contact you if you will be part of it, but you will be part of it in one way or another. You will either witness it or help to facilitate the coming together with humans in some way. So do not worry. I cannot tell you at this moment who will actually be involved. That will have to be by nature of when it happens and how it happens and where you are.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Okay, and the next question that we have is from Naomi, otherwise known as Ruth.
Okay.
Otherwise known as Saphira.
Yeah.
Apologies. Yeah, my daughter borrowed my computer and changed it. Sorry about that. Tekkrr, I have a few more questions, please. Thank you. One is about fourth dimension. I've heard somebody say that they are now fully fourth dimensional. How fourth dimensional can we be while we are in the 3D? To what levels can we reach that?
If they are fully fourth dimensional, we would not be able to see them in the third dimension.
Okay. Well, how much can
we fourth dimensional in some ways, but their body is still in the 3D because that is where it was born to. They may have fully fourth dimensional thought processes. That I do not doubt. but they are not fully fourth dimensional. Otherwise, you would not see them at all. They would be in the fourth dimension.
Okay, yeah, I don't, they probably meant mentally or
Yes,
emotionally.
and mentally they can be almost fully in the fourth dimension. The thing is, many things in the fourth dimension parallel the things in the third dimension. So yes, there are many similarities, but there are also many differences.
Okay, now my fourth dimensional self is very confident and very vital and outgoing, and in some ways different from myself. So how much can I match up with my fourth dimensional self? Is it
As
possible?
much as you want to. You can match up with your fourth dimensional self as much as you want to mentally. If you're seeing that mentally your fourth dimensional self is happy, more balanced, and all these things, why not strive to match up with that thought process, with that brain activity and such? But you will never be fully fourth dimensional in the third dimension, but your brain can certainly match up to some of the fourth dimensional characteristics.
And is that done through meditation, just through daily living? How is that done?
It is done through meditation. It is done by visiting in astral, the fourth dimension, seeing what it is happening there. As you said, in the fourth dimensional, you were happy and more confident and different. How did you experience that? Go back and experience that more. Bring that back to the third dimension if you can.
Yeah, I don't often remember my fourth dimension. Is Sheer talking? I don't know.
That would be sheer.
Okay. Yeah, I don't remember my fourth dimensional experiences consciously, but I'm sure they're in my memory bank somewhere.
They are in your subconscious. Call them
Yes.
during your meditations.
Okay. And one last thank you to Tekkrr. One last point. I think I have some negative entities affecting my heart chakra. So aside from the work I'm doing myself for it, can I please ask you for some help with that?
Negative entities. There are many that are struggling with negative entities. Are they on the outside or the inside?
I don't know. Can you tell me where they are? Because when I feel emotionally numb or blocked, then I know it's not just
They
me.
can affect you from the outside, just in many different ways. So hopefully they are not inside and possessing you in any way, but that only they are on the outside.
Can you tell? Can you tune in?
I would have to do a scan.
Oh, okay. Can we do that?
Well, they can set it up, and we can do that while other people are talking.
Yes, and then I can get back to you before you leave.
Yes.
Okay.
We do not want to take time for that right now.
Yes, I was going to suggest that. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I'll ask again before you leave. Thank you.
Exactly.
Okay, we next have a question from Deb.
Greetings.
Greetings. Thank you. My husband and I have had up to 40 energies in our room every night, and some fairies. He can see them clearly. I can't, unfortunately. And I wanted to know who they are and why they're there every night. Do you know?
40 different entities?
Energies.
Just energy disembodied?
Well, he can see that. He can see the fairies clearly in their wings, but he can't. He can see the energies. They're like wavy. They look like water, like wavy energies in the air.
Entities as well. Some entities can appear that way. So if you have those in your room, I would imagine they're sentient. So are they bothering you in any way?
No.
All right. The reason why you are seeing them is because he is able to see them and feel them and contact them. So they are there to communicate something to him. There is no other reason for them to be there. If you could not see them or feel them, they would not be there. They have a reason to be there. They have a communication to give to him or you, and they are going to be there until you get that particular communication. Do the fairies speak at all? Hello? Do the fairies speak?
They come down and land on his. They land on his fingers, and you can feel their vibration. He doesn't. I can channel the energies, and I can channel, but he hasn't learned that yet. He can feel the vibration of the energies too, though. I
understand.
I have not felt them. I haven't felt them, but I felt like one was Jesus, one was Mother Mary.
Yeah.
I almost felt like we had. I know Archangel Michael was there, and Metatron.
What part of the world?
I live in Phoenix, right outside of Phoenix, Arizona.
There is something that they want to tell you about where you are living. This is what I'm getting. So they are trying to communicate something about the Earth and the ecology in that area, and something. It is a spiritual message. There may be a vortex. There may be a spiritual reason. There may be someone that wants to visit from the a past life. Some kind of spiritual message is definitely needing to be given. I sense that greatly. If you have that high of entities coming into the your
every night,
then you definitely are being called out for a reason.
Yeah, and I mean it's strong. I mean, very, very strong, and it's every night. And my husband's a healer.
And what the message is. Don't be afraid to talk to them.
Well, I'm not afraid to talk to them at all. And my husband, as I said, is a healer. He can scan people, and I actually get the downloaded messages of what's wrong with them.
Very good. You work together well. Make sure that you find out what this message is. It sounds important to me.
Okay. I'll try today.
Absolutely, some kind of message. Perhaps he will be able to sense it through healing, and you will be able to decipher it as he is sensing it. I am not sure how it will work.
Okay. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Next, we do have a question from the YouTube chat from Peter P. His question is that he recently started speaking a galactic language. What kind of language is it, and why did he learn that particular language?
I would have to hear the language, but what I'm gathering from the connection I'm getting from Peter P. is this is a Yahyel language. It is a more chatty kind of language, and they gave it to him because they are going to be contacting him in the future for other information. Is he also a channeler?
It doesn't say. It's in the YouTube chat.
I'm thinking that they want to channel through him, but it first starts with a language sometimes.
Okay, and we have another question from Pete Andrew, which is there a way for him to better converse with his counterpart and hybrid children that his guides can share at this moment? And can you please send healing protocols on the energy systems?
Sure. Healing protocols are no problem. We can send those. Is there a particular problem? Please let us know, and we can send healing to you. Yes, the other thing is about the hybrid children. Please note that you visit them in the astral. You may not remember this, you may not know this, but they are always in contact with you in the astral, and they will definitely continue to be. Now, you will have to build your fourth dimensional energy a little bit to be able to remember these contacts, but you should be able to eventually remember these contacts and remember what has happened. They constantly are asking the parents of the hybrid children for information, how they want the children to be raised, what languages they want them to be taught, what subject matters would be good for them. But they also do tests on them to see what subject matter they're best, they absorb the easiest. So these different things and how parenting should be are always a subject with hybrid children.
Okay, and that concludes the questions that we have at this time, unless you have any questions in your room with you.
Any questions here?
Not a question. Just something for someone that I heard. The way I contact my children up on Maya, and this may help everyone. Also, my name's Raymond. Sorry for introductions. The way I perceive my children is through meditation at specific times of the day that I already set up, and also just before I go to bed, if I feel a pull and sense coming out of me that I'm supposed to, I'll state in prayer to go be with my child or to help someone out there. Maybe not to remember, but to go and help and have the sense coming back that I did that. Maybe that will help you.
Very well.
And that is all.
Very well.
And the last thing is, Sophia wants to just check in about her scan before you go.
Very well. The scan is that there is some negative attachments, and we will take care of them if you sit still.
Thank you very much.
You are welcome. If there is no other questions, there are others waiting to come.
Yes, hello. I have just this last question. I'm sorry, Tekkrr. I'm jumping in because I did write it, and I don't think anyone saw that I had a question. We were talking about our fourth dimensional selves, and you're talking about the subconscious. Just quickly, what is the link with chakras?
To the fourth dimensional self?
Well, just to our, let's say we all know that time doesn't exist. And so everything is happening at once. And right. I'll be more direct, is that now in my 3D self, let's say I know that I'm existing in other realities, other dimensions, and I have different personalities and talents. Is there a way of tapping into those talents that I can use in this dimension?
Yes, there is. But that you have to be aware of all the talents that are in these other dimensions so that you can bring them to you. If, like past lives, all happening at once, as you said, you had different talents in different lives. You use different portions of your creative soul in different lives, but they are all still there in that one soul. So you can contact your soul and bring out more creativity if you wish. But this is something everyone can do. Everyone can get in contact with a greater part of their creativity if it is something that they wish to do. Now, the other thing is they can also make the portions of their life that are already out there and being creative even greater. So you have many choices to make. Of course, you won't be able to use every bit of your creativity, but those things that are strongest with you, I think you should definitely continue to move forward with.
Okay, thank you very much.
You are welcome.
Okay, and on this end, that concludes the questions.
Very well. Have a good day, everyone. Someone else wants to come through.
Thank you, Tekkrr. Much love from everybody.
Much love, Tekkrr. Thank you.
This is the Yahyel Council. There's someone who called us.
Yes, welcome. I did. Welcome to our time today together. Thank you for coming.
What is it that you need from us?
Well, I wasn't sure if you were coming, so I did ask Tekkrr about the conditions for first contact on the Earth, and there were many different timelines given in the past.
Yes.
Conditions about how much of the governments need to agree. So as a Yahyel, you're part of this whole first contact effort, I'm assuming. Is that correct?
We work with many to be a part of this effort, yes.
How do you see that moving along, and how do you work with the governments yourselves to get them to agree?
We will know when the governments are ready because they will actually let us know. But let me tell you this. We have been waiting for a while now to come back to Earth. There are many that have been there and many that are there already. But there are many laws put into place at this time because of the place you are in history. So we cannot just dive in and have a first contact. We must have the permission. We must be prepared. And there are many of us that are preparing and have many different scenarios for what a first contact on your planet will look like, depending on the state of politics, your earthly politics, and our exopolitics as well.
Thank you. So many people have the belief that once first contact happens, everything will change and we'll be living in a wonderful utopian world. But is that true? How long will it take once it is actual?
No, a utopian world does not exist in anywhere in the galaxy or the universe. The only utopias are afterlife experiences, because in this realm and in all realms there is negativity except for in that one. Now, do not kid yourself. Things will change drastically when aliens become part of your common knowledge. And we become part of your friendship base, if you will. When you become part of the neighborhood, that is when things will change dramatically. There will be many rules and regulations that must be set up to work this out. These have already started to be written, even by your governments. They have at least started to think about interaction with aliens and have brought some thought processes to light. Our rules and regulations will also have to be met.
And would you use people like David Wilkes or Corey Good or other people who have already been on the forefront of disclosing alien contact, or who would you actually use as your ambassadors, basically?
Our ambassadors are those that are not part of your world.
Oh, I meant earthly ambassadors, excuse me, to communicate to the world your messages.
When we speak through your peoples, you will know the truth by the positivity that is brought forth. You will know that they are telling the truth by the logic that comes through as well. Do not be listening to the conspiracy theories, the negativities, and all these things, for negativity will deter the first contact a great deal. But we use Corey Good and many like him, and females as well, to speak what is the truth to the world. The problem is at this time, channelers, and those that have the information that is necessary are not being listened to by the mainstream of your population.
Okay, so well, Tekkrr mentioned it. One scenario is that several ships would show up at the same time in different parts of the world. Once that would happen, which humans would you use to be your peace at that moment?
That depends on when this happens. There are different people that are ready and different people that are not. We would use those who are ready for first contact as liaisons. We will let them know a little bit ahead of time that something is happening. We cannot let them know exactly what is happening, but we'll give them a heads up that there will be an event, and they will know it for sure.
Okay, thank you. And the work with, there is supposedly a tribunal going on for those in the cabal who have been doing many things to destroy societies and morality and many high-level people.
There is no tribunal
on the earth, like you're not.
There's no tribunal. If there was, you would not know of it.
Well, that's what it's secret. It's supposed to be a secret tribunal. So my question is, how much of the cabal have to be put somewhere else or neutralized before first contact? Will they be?
That is not for me to say, but there is no tribunal. Otherwise, you would not know of it.
Oh, I get it. Oh, well, I'm talking about like a whistleblower who has revealed it.
No whistleblower. They just want attention.
Oh, I see. Okay. Well, it did give us hope that.
There is no tribunal for the cabal at this time. If there was, the universe would know about it. There is none.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Well, things like sex trafficking and some really horrific things going on, especially with children. Does that need to be cleaned up before first contact, or would it be
starting to be cleaned up already? Inadvertently, there are some things happening that are in favor of getting rid of sex trafficking and those things that are related to it. So, but it will not end. There are too many countries, in fact, most, involved in it, but there are several hundred that have been saved from it just recently.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. And I don't know if anybody else has any questions, so I will stop at the moment and see if anyone has questions. Thank you for coming.
You are welcome.
We have no further questions here unless there is a question within your room that someone wants to ask.
It is all right.
Okay.
I would ask a question. This is Lucia. I'm sorry, I'm jumping in here.
Yes.
I'm going to ask a question about healing. I don't know if you can answer this, but having to do it's for Michelle Euro. She's asking about the healing of cartilage, and hold on, I'm scrolling up to see her actual question here. But it has to do with the healing of meniscus and cartilage, and she's asking about the best practice to use in order to heal that.
we use technology along with our energies and modalities to bring about the greatest healing processes. Now, you know about the 𝗪𝗍𝗕, which is one of our healing techniques. Remember
Yes,
that?
I do.
This is used along with technology and G7, X3 energy. I'm sorry, the translator wanted to go somewhere else. X3 energy is something that we use. We did have a being on your planet with that name, but he is no longer there. But there is an energy called X3 energy, and we use it with technology, and that would be the best way to help with this meniscus problem and growing back cartilage where it has been worn away. Now, there are other methods to bringing around a cure for that. We can also add mesh to the cartilage that is left in that area and make it more sturdy and take it from rubbing bone on bone to rubbing with the mesh going over it. But this would have to be an operation that we do, and it would take some time.
Yes, thank you. The thing is that we are on Earth in 3D.
Yeah.
I'm not too sure how we would access this technology. Do you have anything else to suggest?
The 𝗪𝗍𝗕 can help with this by pulling the pain out. I would suggest that you get in touch with Girk Fitneer. They may be able to send a mesh or perhaps 𝗪𝗢𝗓𝗓.
Okay, very well. Thank you.
Yes.
Okay, and I believe that concludes our questions for now. Thank you very much.
You are welcome. I will send 𝗪𝗢𝗓𝗓 to you right now. One moment.
May you send it to...
Now.
Oh, yes. Could you send the 𝗪𝗢𝗓 to Michelle Euro, please?
That is what we are doing.
Oh, thank you.
That is what we are doing, yes. One moment, please. We are leaving now.
Thank you for being here. Much love.
And we are 𝗪𝗢𝗓𝗓. The person that is in question that needs the meniscus and the cartilage, we are there with her now.
Excellent. Thank you for coming.
Let her know that we will just have to put a mesh in. There is no way that we can do anything further without bringing her to a ship, and we cannot do that at this time. It is against the rules. But we will do what we can.
Again, thank you. Namaste.
Namaste. Any questions? We will go now.
I don't have any questions on this end.
Very well. It is time for us to leave. Hello?
Welcome back.
Hello. Oh, thank you.
Hi, Jim. Hi, Jim.
Hello.
Welcome back. Thank you.
Hey, how is it going? I just wanted to check and see who wants to do a blessing.
I can do a blessing. David.
Okay, and Angie will do a blessing also.
And I can also do a blessing. It's Lucia.
Okay, the same three as we started. Who was going to start this time?
I'll close this.
Okay, Lucia, you want to start?
Sure. Ashasono minikala shasa kasharemi. Kosili kashasokono minikasa. Ashosini minikala koshisila. Pitikala sanominiki. Pitikala sashakoli sikichisi. Hashosonemi kashosalaki. Namaste.
The healing energies that are being received now will only get stronger, and there will be some miracles that you will not be able to understand, but will be grateful for in the future. Let your powers and energies grow and believe that you can heal anything.
Hello.
Greetings.
Anya datruk ashandua bina nahua shahadia brakunde shangwe anna sauk vejunda nayawe anda haraka eyundu nalia shandore naya asunde beshunda nalia.
The information at this time is limited, but the universe is pouring out information to your world all the time. Hopefully soon someone will be able to receive some of this information that is needed for the next step in your ascension. Yes. Once again, we are here with you and giving you our support. We have been to your planet many times, and we are known as the Naga. We have built some of your ancient civilizations and influenced many in the past. We hope to be able to reunite with you at some time in the near future. Be with us in your prayers, one to another.
And we actually have one more blessing from Deb.
Very good.
Ayaka ino aya ua uka isa ia oa. Na iko soya a osaika onania onaika tosaya oa osokaya ita isonaya a uka ia soaya uka sia onayaka sayata a.
So many planets with so much energy and so many people. We are all willing and ready to come and visit, but the time is not yet. But remember us in your prayers as we are praying for you during your ascension period. Our love for you is overwhelming, and we are here to bring forth the future when you are ready.
Okay.
Jim, I'm sorry. Before you go, Jim, who are the two gentlemen? Who are the guests in your room? Haven't seen them before. Would like to.
Oh, that's Margie and James.
Hi.
And Jack is back here too, and Ray's over here, and Angie's over here. Hello.
Awesome.
Hello, everybody.
Thank you.
I'd like to thank you, everyone, for tuning in for this Saturday's webinar. Next Saturday, we're going to have Rick Jewers, and Don's going to be hosting. That's going to be on February 23rd. And I'd like to thank again everyone for coming. Jim, thank you very much.
Thanks, Ian, for doing the hosting. I appreciate it a lot. And thanks, Dawn, for doing some of the work in the back.
You did good,
Tom and Dave.
Great job, Ian. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you. We're going to
Yes, thanks, Ian.
Don't forget the